Hi there, this is Robin from cannabolt.com, and I'm here today alone with my iPhone to answer some questions for you. When people inquire, y'all seem to have the exact same questions, so I thought I would put this together for you and maybe just eliminate them for all of you and make you feel good and comfortable about who we are over here at Cannabolt and what we're doing. So the first thing is that we've been making this oil, the Phoenix Tears oil, the RSO oil, the high cannabinoid concentrate oil, since 2005. Our strain of flowers that we use are Afghani. We're big fans of the Purple Kush, and our flowers are always indica strain dominant. Our oil tests pretty consistently around 88% THC with around 16% CBDs. We don't test every single batch, but we test randomly and often. What's another question? Okay, so the solvent, that's another really important thing that people ask about is what are you cutting that flower with and how are you decarboxylating? So we have a special way of decarboxylating that has been handed down through many generations of bootleggers in our family, and it's called mashing. That's how we decarboxylate. And the only solvent that we use, now we all know that in the beginning when this oil was starting to come around, Rick used naphtha because that was what he understood to be the best solvent. Well, we went back a couple 100,000 years to the ancient Chinese and came up with the solvent that we have been using in our business of making essential oils and herbal tinctures since 1996, and decided to use the same solvent, which is this. Here it is. It's a food-grade corn alcohol. It's 100% organic, and it's 100% alcohol. It's the same stuff that Bach flower remedies are made out of, and it's the same stuff that any of the flower essences that are on the market are made out of, and also the Young Living brand of essential oils uses this as well. So, big fans of alchemical solutions, 100% organic, corn, gluten-free solvent. It's the most important thing that we use here. Okay, now we're going to go on to our oil and how to administrate it to yourself. The next biggest question is, what is a gram of this oil? And how do I take it? And how much do I start with? Okay, here's the deal. It's a really high concentrate of THC. So the more you take, the higher you get. You don't want to get high? I don't blame you. How do you counterbalance that? You use citrulline. You can get that on Amazon. There's a link at the bottom of this page to let you know. That's my best solution to you. And also to take the oil at night. Taking the oil at night is going to help you sleep through the effects of the THC. And you know what? It's not so bad because THC opens something in our brain called DMT. And DMT is the chemical gateway to seeing and becoming one with the creative force of the universe. So don't be afraid of getting high. Just relax and breathe and let it float through you. Also, if you're taking too much oil to begin with, some of the side effects are going to be you're going to feel sick to your stomach, you're going to have diarrhea, and you're going to be very agitated. So start small and go big. And small means the size of the head of a plastic stick pin. You know, I wish I had one here, I don't. But the small, like a dot, like the smallest you can imagine. Start with that and always take more at night. So when you receive our oil, it comes in a container. We don't ship in syringes. You can always go to your local pet store and spend $1 and get your own syringe. So the oil is going to come like this, and we ship it wet, what we call wet, because we're using a food-grade solvent. It's going to be a little different than naphtha or any of those BHOs, which are wax solvents made with petrochemicals. None of that here. No healing your body with petrochemicals here. The first thing you're going to notice when you open it is that it's really kind of runny. So that's because it's reconstituted itself in the mail. Let it stay open for 8 to 14 hours, and then don't forget that it settles in the bottom. So even though you think it's runny, at the very bottom of your container, there's a lot of heavy-duty tar-like oil. So stir it up. Reach down at the bottom and stir. Now, the warmer your oil is, the more runny it's going to be. It's really warm over here where I am right now. It's, you know, very hot, so my oil is super runny. It's not as thick as it normally is. But again, I can just pull it off the bottom and you can see it's still thick. It's still like we call it molasses or jelly. You know, again, we're not doing any BHOs, we're not cutting with a petrochemical, we're using a food grade alcohol that gives us a little bit more of an organic based product. Okay, so what's a gram look like, right? That's the next big question, is what exactly is a gram? This is a 00 empty gel cap. Can you see it? No, you cannot. Where is it? Still learning how to use my phone. Where's the camera? There it is. Okay, so that is an empty gel cap. If you fill one up, let's use a different finger. Oh, much better. That is a gram. This filled pill is 1 gram of cannabinoid concentrate oil, which we call the goo over here at Cannabolt. So if you can get up to that, that's awesome, because that's really what's going to get your body rolling. Okay, another way that you can, and let's talk about how do you feel that. So, you know, you can again go to the pet store and get your $1.29 syringe. You can use a toothpick, let your oil warm up to room temperature, and then just go ahead and just dip it in and rub it on the sides. Like, you know, that's a starting dose. If you start yourself off with a gel cap that has that much in it, which was just one swipe of either a tiny little spoon or a toothpick, that's an excellent, excellent start. Okay, an excellent start. Start there. See that? Start. Starting point. Finishing point. So just continue to just scoop the oil into the pill until it's full. You know, it's a little tedious, but you don't want to, you know how much you're paying for this, so you want to be very mindful of what you're doing, and do it over a plate. Remember, if you get it on your fingers, you are going to get loaded. This is not a CBD oil, this is a THC oil. Your skin is like a great big drinking fountain. So if you are sensitive to it, or you are doing this for your loved one, highly recommend you wear plastic gloves. Very, very important. So it takes about, I'm not going to fill this whole pill up because I'm lazy. I'd say about 10 scoops into there, and then just slap the cap. Boom, there you go. Put it in another pill container and get up to 1 a day. Okay? If you are not interested in, okay, now those capsules right there, I'm sorry, before I go here, these can either be taken orally or rectally, your choice. Okay, now when you take your medicine, if you're healing cancers and you're going in rectally, please remember that it takes the body longer to absorb through the rectum than through the stomach. So you might have the experience where you think you're not having any effect because, you know, it's been a suppository, and then you're out shopping 2.5 hours later and you are waylaid. So understand, until you find your own groove with this oil, until you find that groove, it's gonna wreak havoc on you and make you feel different, okay? And have a different timing with you depending on how you feel, what you've eaten. Excuse me. Okay, this is a vape pen. This is a 710 vape pen. I do not work for 710, but I do like this pen. And if they hired me, I might work for them. Okay, so you can put 1 gram of oil in this pen and then just smoke it, which is a really great way to administer it. It actually breaks down the THC, because when you smoke it, it just sort of releases that THC in a different way than when it goes into the body, so you're not going to get as loaded if you smoke it. Hit the button, let the smoke come together, and then exhale. How many times should you do that? That's the next question. Well, how many times do I hit that vape pen, Robin? Hit it as much as you'd like, okay? Vape away, or supposit, or deposit. Keep your oil in a dry, cool environment. And our solvent is, again, and make sure your solvent, no matter who you're buying this from or making it yourself, is 100% organic food grade. If it's going in your body, do not make it with petrochemicals. Do not do that. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you stopping by, and we sincerely appreciate your patronage and having the honor to be of service to you. Have a beautiful and extraordinary moment wherever you are on the planet. Thanks.